Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm going to be going over to my studio today, and I'm going to go through my paintings, talk about some of the ones that I have some new sprawling ideas on. So I have this one that's about a situation going on in Ukraine. I have some abstract ideas I'm going to start putting on canvas, and a few other things. And I'm also getting ready for a market that's going to be tomorrow evening, so I have to get stuff ready for that. But, well, let's get going, because I got to drive over there. It's only like a 10-minute drive, but that's nothing. Something interesting that's been going on lately is that this summer has been a wetter summer for the most part, but it all of a sudden started drying up. And so it has gotten brutally hot outside. I know my dash says it's only 98 degrees, but it's lying. It feels like 105, but I guess I'm used to that. But we're going to head over to the studio. I might grab coconut water on the way because ever since I first started trying this stuff late last year, I'm hooked. It makes me feel so much better. I hydrate so much faster with it, I feel. But can't do it all the time because coconut water is a bit pricey. It's still good. But so let's get this going. All right, so we're almost to the studio space. It's actually in my grandmother's garage. But you know what? At the moment, I don't have to pay rent for it, so that's pretty cool. It is just an open air garage, so I have to make sure that my paintings are organized properly so things don't stick. But it's still been a very nice place. It gives me a lot of square footage to work with. So they've been doing a lot of construction on this road lately, and unfortunately, it's a one-way in and out of this neighborhood. And people love to park on the street, and we have to, yep, there's a giant excavator right there. We're about to drive past it. Man, they just tore up all the concrete, everything. Yes, every single time I leave this neighborhood, I always have to go out a different way than I came in. Because, okay, technically there is another way out, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to go out because it just takes a lot longer. So it's like, would I rather wait at the lights or wait for the construction to clear or give me a chance at going by? So we're pulling up right now, 3-car garage, and it's like, well, there's only one car here now. Might as well turn a third of it into a studio. So that's what we're doing. Just parked. I had it in the other hand, so that way when I drive, it's okay for me to use. Here we go. All right. So we are here, and you know what? Before we go in, let's go say hi to the chickens. We have chickens here that we just started raising earlier this year, and they are almost full grown, or at least they're almost at egg laying age. And yep, here we go. That's Freckles, Zoe behind her. I forget all their names. There's 6 of them total, but we have a little door on the side there for them. These are actually mainly my mom's chickens. We've just this is my grandma's house, so she came out to come say hi. So these are our chickens again. Just up close, it's all of them together. Had this door cut into the side so they can come in and out. It closes at a certain time of day. As you can see, they're not overly happy with the fact that I'm disturbing them right now. But that's pretty neat. But let's go inside the studio. Let's go see what's going on in there. Like I said, it's inside of a garage. So I don't remember which one of these two it is, so we're going to find out. I think it's the bottom. Yes. Let's turn the light on. All right, let's turn the other light on. That one always scares me because I didn't really know what I was doing when I put that in the ceiling. So it might be a little precarious. So I'm pretty sure I got it into the studs, but I think it might just be in the sheetrock on one of the sides. But I figured, hey, as long as it doesn't fall out, then I'm not going to worry about it. So the main thing I need to do today is that I need to do some cleaning. I need to organize some of the stuff that's in here, and I'll show you some of the work that I'm working on, because I have some paintings I want to get finished and talk about the ideas of what's in them. So that'll be one of the things we're going to do in just a minute. But I'll give you a little tour as I'm cleaning it, actually, because I might as well use that time. So for starters, we have this Autry sign that I just painted on. It's supposed to hang right there. So we're gonna add the mic so you can hear me a bit better as I walk around. I wish I could wear something a little nicer for these videos. It's just too hot. You should be able to hear me better now, at least for a little bit. So I usually move paintings around. It's some weird desk thing that I picked up off the side of the road that I probably shouldn't have and should just get rid of. It looked interesting at the time, but sometimes those things don't work out. Some paintings I'm gonna set there for now. It's just hot. Everything's hot. So we're gonna hang this sign back up on the wall just so it looks a little nicer. Take these car seat headrests. I have to usually take these out of my car whenever I'm doing markets and stuff because they just get in the way. So I'm just going to put them on the shelf over here, out of the way. Last one. Oh, man. See, that's the one thing that's just not fun about Texas summers, is that you have to constantly be sweaty all the time, no matter what. Oh, this is not trash. This is an art piece, so don't worry, I'm not that much of a hoarder. Maybe. I don't know if that actually helped my case or not. So we're just gonna hang this up for today just so it looks nice. I've just got some screws in the sheetrock for now. But here we go, all up. Turn on the light. Boom. Got this painting up above. I wish I could tell you the name of it. I don't remember. I have made so much work that it's hard to remember exactly what I've titled everything. And that's why I have to write everything down. So it's normally on my website. But I might be doing a revamping to my website soon. Still trying to decide. So next, we're going to actually put this metal thing in my car. And I actually use this as a display stand for stuff, especially these small little 5x7 artworks that I have that are on watercolor paper. So that's kind of a nice thing. It's served me pretty well in the meantime. I need to start doing these vlogs more often. Everyone tells me I need to be talking more to just explain things. So I think that's what this is gonna be. So when I film in here, I have to deal with multiple things. So one of the things I have to do is I have to figure out where to put the camera in here. The lighting is of course always changing because during the day, getting sunlight, sometimes it's raining. Dealing with this light, there is a light above me, but this one really drowns out everything and makes it all look awful because it's fluorescent. So it's always a challenge trying to figure out exactly what the best option is. So I think I'm going to, at this point, take paintings out of my car, bring them in here. One of the things that I do, and sorry in advance because car is always a wreck. All right, so we've got this painting right here, which I'm actually gonna pick up, carry. So if any of you guess that is a map of Ukraine, whoa, tried flipping that but caught it in the wrong place. All right, gently lean it there for the time being. Let's get the rest out. Projector, lights, books. That's right. It's out of that for now. These pieces, which I will talk about in a little bit, explain my process on what I plan to do with them. I'd love to already have them finished, but it's just a matter of time. And then lastly, my bag. This bag's pretty cool. It's a Samsonite like carry bag. It's got helps me roll it around places, although I don't usually need that. Maybe if I were working in a coffee shop, that would make more sense. So we got the stuff out of the car, and my gosh, it's hot. Picked up a Coke Zero. I don't even drink the sugar stuff anymore. Darth Vader. I might regret that later because sometimes that aspartame or whatever it is, no idea. Sometimes it doesn't sit right with me, but all right. So what I've decided, just in the meantime, to save myself some time, we got an 18-wheeler. This street in this neighborhood, I don't know what goes on. I think there's just a lot of people that do a lot of commercial work using commercial vehicles, and they park them in front of their houses, because the number of them that drive by this house, which I guess it is on a main street, but the amount that drives past, I know that is an abnormally high number for how many houses are in that direction. So, I don't know. But half the time when I'm recording videos, I have to watch out for the sounds because someone's always going down the street way too fast and popping their exhaust, or it's a giant 18-wheeler like that. So anyway, back to the point. So with the car, the main idea is, oh, by the way, got a lawn truck going by. So what I do is I bought these crossbars and I carry a bunch of stuff from markets on top of them. I'm gonna go ahead and install some of that stuff because I don't feel like doing it tomorrow, and it'll save me some time. So the main things that I like to use are these metal grates right here. I'll probably put those up there, as well as this magazine rack I found at Goodwill for like $8. It'll help save me some display space. Usually hop on top of the car and put that stuff on. So let's go ahead and hop to it, as they say. So this is actually what I'm gonna hook the camera up with instead. I was gonna have it sit on top of this chair, decided that's not a great idea. So as I'm dripping with sweat, let me tell you about this little thing. It's kind of amazing. Probably got it for like 20 bucks on Amazon. And this thing has saved me so many times because I can just clamp it to whatever, and it's got the same kind of screw that's used for a lot of DSLR cameras, including this Osmo. So we're gonna actually take it off of the little stand that it comes with. My gosh. Every time I come here, I'm always dripping in sweat before I leave. I always have to take a shower just from doing things. Looks like it's hooked up. So we're just going to actually clamp you onto this metal, the track for the garage door. So that way you can get clamped in and I can put you at a higher height and get you at the distance I want you at. You can keep track of what I'm doing. Yeah. There we go. We're gonna load these things onto the car so you can follow me. Move this chair. We're gonna start off with 2 of them, and it's easier to carry them 2 at once because I can carry 4, but they get problematic and they usually end up pinching my fingers because one of them always shifts out of place. I'm usually not too worried about them being too lined up because it usually works itself out when I cinch them together. It's like that. I'm just being particular that they're all lined up. They don't need to be. But the main thing is now I have to put the magazine rack on there, and that's the fun part. I can usually tell when I'm driving that having this on top scares people because I can't tell how it's tied down, but it is. I usually just weave underneath it and through it, and then through the grate, and that usually does the trick. But it's a matter of having it aligned properly and centered, so that way I can tie through it. All right, I feel like we're pretty centered. Ooh, there we go. Now we're centered. Now we're gonna push this over just ever so slightly. Time for the fun part. Need to get new ratchet straps. These are a little worn out. So now we're gonna whip this on there. That's the fun part. So I actually like to start with this as the guide because it's just easier that way and I can pull it through and tighten it later. So just gonna wrap it around the car once, underneath in there somehow. And then I come up through the middle, pull it until I relatively get to the end of it. At that point, side of here, and I'm actually gonna bring you over here for this part. So let's see, well, where do we hook you up is the question. See, that's the amazing thing about this camera is that I can hook it up in all these different places and it can follow me. So the only problem with doing this, as well as trying to be on camera while doing it, is that I have to get into an abnormal position to even talk about it. So anyway, just feeding it through everything. And every single time I do this, there's no complete system to it. It's just kind of more of get it on there as best as possible because I never remember. I don't always take the same stuff every time I do these markets. So now we're gonna go to the other side. And where did I put it? It has now gone through. Gonna filter it back through this part. All right, it's in there. And is it on tight? After 4 other attempts, it's on. Anyway, so one of the things I like to do, sometimes on some markets, I'll have spaces to put up lights and stuff, which I will probably be doing for this one. It is indoors, but it's a kind of gallery space. So this stuff needs to stay in here for now, but I'll put all that stuff on this side of the car. And it usually and then I can store other things on the inside of this space, and other paintings and stuff will go right here. So obviously I'm sweating pretty bad. Oh, every time. Then at this point, I'm going to be working on this canvas for my cousin who's going off to college and do a little painting of her cat. So for now, what I'm doing is I'm just going to put a base layer, starting out with some kind of pink, most likely, using some of my cheap paints. And the reason why is because it's just a base coat. So that's mainly what I'm going to be working with to start. What we're going to do, throw down a little bit of red, not a ton. Some white over here. So should be enough. My palette knife out, peel all the gunk off of it, and go to town. So just mix. I don't know what the actual proper technique for this is. I just keep doing it until it's mixed. But it's just so I don't have to on the brush or get it on me. And it should be enough paint to cover this canvas and then some. This stuff should dry relatively fast. It's a little more humid day today, but it's not too bad. So another loud car driving by. Gotta have the fan on now. It's way too hot to not. So at this point, I'm gonna give you a better angle in 1 second. That brush is done for. Suppose I might need a towel. Mind, it's in here for some reason. All right, got my brushes on here, and to give you a better perspective as to what I'm doing. Putting down a base coat, on there. This lid from some IKEA thing has become my palette. What's funny is whenever you do art, some people always want everything to look aesthetic and to be perfect and clean. And you can do that, but it's just so much easier to get the work done if you just allow yourself to have a little bit of a mess. Meaning you have to be allowing for, right there, I had a little bit of paint just flick off of my brush there. You have to allow that to happen. Otherwise, you become too much of a perfectionist and your work doesn't actually get finished. Just sits there and rots. So it's like David Lynch catching a fish. You have to act on it because the fish is going to start to smell after a while and then you don't want to eat it anymore. So once you catch that fish, you got to act on it. You got to cook it that day. That's when it's best. Don't let things fester. And I was feeling like, you know what? I should go and make a video. I should go talk about what I do when I get to my studio, when I get ready for markets. And that's how we are right now. Because, well, I guess some people might find it entertaining, right? At least a few people. Not sure exactly how many. And I don't claim to be an expert on anything. But at least I can show you some of what I do. And if I die in a fiery car wreck, which is usually the thing I reference when I could disappear one day. There we go, almost done. Just the perfect amount of paint for a single coat. I've gotten pretty good at that. Become subconscious, because all of this is spread out on there. And there we go. Just perfectly plain paint coat on there. So next we're going to talk about these. Get them out so you can actually see what they look like. These are based off of some posters I saw in a friend of mine's house, and he's a collector at this point. These are all representing different topics based on old world, new world, mythological, and religious iconography, I guess. Out of all these pieces, is that each one, as I sit and stare at them, I can start to see things in them, right? So, like this one, I see a machine. This one, a bowl or something there. I also see a bowl in this one, but I see a clock in this one, right? Of a clock, or the hands of a clock, or whatever you want to call it. But if I flip like this one upside down, I also see an eye here and stuff like that. And so I flip them upside down and I get viewpoints as to what each piece is going to be. And it just reveals itself to me over time. Man, wish I didn't have to sweat so much when I did this. Let's talk about the Ukraine one. Get that out of the way. So anyway, with this painting that I wanted to discuss in it when it's complete, because obviously it's not done yet, I'm going to have multiple other colors on the map depicting what certain people groups might be hoping for in terms of borders, right? I want to do more paintings on this kind of thing. I'm going to do another one on the Congo based on what's happening there. But I don't know if anyone caught it. But there was a little interesting exchange with former Prime Minister of Russia. I forget his first name, but his last name is Medvedev. Everyone usually just calls him Medvedev. Almost like Putin's right-hand man right now. And he released a map right at about the first 9 months of the war of what he wanted the end of it to look like. And it's kind of horrifying when you realize exactly how ambitious they are on this entire endeavor, right? This is every single region that they have touched and that they want, right? They are pretty much controlling everything along where I'm dragging my finger. There will be another darker shade of red here in the meantime. The red is basically everything that they want for sure, have controlled. That's what it's going to be showing, which is showing you exactly how ambitious they are with what they want. Now, is it going to turn out that way? I personally don't think so, but it's not for me to tell. That's going to be for the future to show. This may become extremely inaccurate, but the whole point is I'm painting this now in this time to depict exactly what we are all thinking, right? The point of this is to start a discussion. So I'll just call these my chalkboard paintings because it'll be like a history teacher having to explain an entire situation to the class as to what this is talking about. Like right here, obviously, is just going to be an ever-evolving piece that will have borders for Poland, Romania, and other neighboring countries on it as well. So some people are not going to be happy about it, but that's not the point. The point is to start a conversation. So, yeah. I think that wraps it up for today. Thank you for watching. I'm going to try to do these vlogs just to explain a little bit about what I'm doing. Maybe you can put it in the background. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I'm just going to start doing them and spend too much time editing them. Just try to document what's going on. But But thank you very much. See ya.